Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Mrs. Gallagher, and today we're going to learn about cube roots. So what does it mean to cube a number? When we're cubing a number, we're raising a number to the third power. So we're raising a number to the third power. That means the exponent is always going to be equal to 3. So when we cube a number, our exponent is equal to 3. So for example, if I have a variable like x and I'm going to cube it, my exponent is going to be 3, so x to the third power. So now let's look at the chart below. We have 1 to the third power. That means 1 times 1 times 1. And 1 times 1 times 1 gives us 1. 2 to the third power is 2 times 2 times 2. And 2 times 2 times 2 gives us 8. 3 to the third power is 3 times 3 times 3, and 3 times 3 times 3 gives us 27. So all you're doing is you're taking your base and you're multiplying it 3 times. So 4 to the third power, 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. 5 to the third power is 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125. 6 to the third power, 6 times 6 times 6, which is 216. 7 to the third power is 7 times 7 times 7, which gives us 343. 8 to the third power, 8 times 8 times 8, which gives us 512. 9 to the third power, 9 times 9 times 9, which gives us 729. And 10 to the third power is 10 times 10 times 10, which gives us 1,000. So now let's discuss what the inverse of cubing a number is called. The inverse of cubing a number is called the cube root. So the inverse of cubing a number is called the cube root. So what exactly is a cube root? Let's look at the cube root of 8. Now if you notice here, this looks like a square root symbol, but there's a 3 in front of it. We have a 3 in front of that 8. That indicates it's a cube root. And the cube root of 8 is equal to 2. Now why is it equal to 2? The cube root of 8 is 2 because 2 to the third power, which is equal to 2 times 2 times 2, is equal to 8. So if you notice, 8 is inside of our cube root. That 8 is inside of the cube root. And if you notice, the base is your answer. So the base is your answer. Let's look at another example. The cube root of 512 is equal to 8. So the cube root of 512 is 8 because 8 to the third power is equal to 8 times 8 times 8, which is equal to 512. So if you notice, 512 is inside of your cube root, and the answer is your base, which is 8. Let's look at another example. The cube root of 125. That's equal to 5. So the cube root of 125 is 5 because 5 to the third power is equal to 5 times 5 times 5, which equals 125. Therefore, our number inside of the cube root is 125. You have your exponent, which is 3, and your 5 is your base. The next one, the cube root of 64. That is equal to 4. And the cube root of 64 is equal to 4 because 4 to the third power is equal to 4 times 4 times 4. And 4 times 4 times 4 equals 64. Again, the number inside of the cube root is your answer, and your answer to a cube root is your base. So your answers are your bases whenever you're taking the cube root. So what I would like you to do on your own is find the cube root of numbers 1, 2, and 3, and we will discuss it in class. Let's look at now some negative cube roots. So we have a cube root of a negative number. And is there such thing as a cube root of a negative number? Is that possible? Yes, it is. And now we're going to discuss why it's possible. So the cube root of negative 1,000 is negative 10 because if we have negative 10 to the third power, that is equal to negative 10 times negative 10 times negative 10. So now let's multiply that out. We have a negative times a negative. And a negative times a negative gives us a positive. So you have a positive 100. And you're going to multiply that by negative 10. Okay, so it's a key concept there. Negative times a negative equals a positive. So a key concept, a negative times a negative equals a positive. So now you have 100 times negative 10. So now we have a positive times a negative. And that's going to equal a negative. 100 times 10 is 1,000. So another key concept is a positive times a negative equals a negative. So a positive times a negative equals a negative. As a result, the cube root of negative 1,000 is written as the cube root of negative 1,000, and that's going to be equal to negative 10. So a key concept from the above, we can infer the cube root of a positive number is a positive number or a positive answer. We can also infer the cube root of a negative number is a negative number or a negative answer. So a cube root of a positive number is a positive number or answer, and the cube root of a negative number is a negative number or answer. So now I'd like you to do on your own, please, is the you try section. I would like you to do numbers 1, 2, and 3, and we will discuss it in class. Thank you.